Welcome to this class on money. It's something that I had to learn and that I was not taught. We want to give you some ideas, some tips, some tools, some ways to make your relationship with money better. We want you to have more money. We want you to have more freedom. Thank you for joining us here.
Let me know if any of these statements sound familiar.
Money makes the world go round.
Money can't buy you love.
Filthy, stinking rich.
There's no such thing as too much money.
You're greedy if you want more money.
Money is the root of all evil.
Your tax dollars at work.
No money, no power.
Tax hike.
You should give more.
Spend more. Buy more. Keep up with the Joneses. It's the American dream. Buy it. It's wrong to take money for helping someone.
I grew up in a small town, and money for me was bad growing up. It was certainly something that I was scared of not having enough of, but it was also, for the majority of my life, something that you could have too much of, and too much was bad. And we have so many conflicting beliefs about money.
I'm Michelle Love, and my dear friend Robin Zander and I created this basically because we've been given so many tools and we've learned so much and studied so much, and things have helped us, and we want to share that.
I'm Robin Zander. I'm the co-founder of Motion, and this is a several-part video series on how to handle your finances better, get out of debt, and live a rich life.
What is Motion? It's a series of tools that we've learned through a bunch of different disciplines. A lot of them are very movement-focused and learning-focused. Other ones are about behavior change, and other ones are about our thoughts and how we use our thoughts and what we can do to change them. This is a conglomeration of all that we've learned and the best of what we've learned to help ourselves and those we love.
A couple of years ago, I founded a cafe in San Francisco. The number of people who've said, "Oh my God, how did you do that? How did you build a cafe?" One of the things that made it possible for me to open up what became Robin's Cafe was the initial startup capital. At the time, I had nothing in savings, and there was an opportunity that was very time sensitive to open up a cafe in our little corner of San Francisco. I needed to borrow or raise almost $50,000. And at the time, that was completely inconceivable. I could not imagine how to start that. I was in a time pressure situation. I needed to raise a lot of money, what for me at the time felt like an enormous sum of money. And so the thing that I did, first, I asked everyone I knew not to help me with the money, but for help. How do I do this? How do I learn this? And rather than say $50,000, I started small. I said, how much could I imagine raising from an individual? And for me at the time, that amount was $5,000. And so I ended up raising $5,000 or $10,000 from a handful of dear family and friends who saw the vision that I had for Robin's Cafe and wanted to support that and wanted to be involved themselves.
I didn't really used to care about money. It wasn't a big deal. We didn't have much. I didn't grow up with much, but I didn't care much either. We had enough. But then I had a child who was diagnosed with special needs, and I was basically told there was nothing you could do to help him, and I didn't like that answer, and I wanted to try a bunch of different things. Everything's expensive for a child with special needs. There's special therapies, there's special equipment, there's special clothes, there's special everything, and all that specialness comes with special price tags. I wanted to be able to help him, but we didn't have much money. And that was when I first got really interested in making money. And then all kinds of things came up. I was raised in the Midwest. It was like, the greedy, the puritanical, you shouldn't make money, you're selfish. All of those things came up for me, and I had to learn my ways around them. One of the tools that I used is called ETA, and it stands for event, thought, arrival. The event for me was having a child with special needs that I wanted more money for. When I first heard that diagnosis, my thoughts were like, oh no, I don't know how to help him. We don't have enough. How am I going to do this? There's no answers. And I arrived at a pretty kind of gut-punched, sad, scared place. And I really wanted to change that. I was really motivated to change it. So where I wanted to arrive was in a place of having enough money, being able to take care of my family, and being able to do it effectively and calmly. That meant changing my thoughts. right? My thoughts led to those feelings. So how do I do that? What were some of the thoughts that I changed? We're going to teach you some of those here. You can pick them or not as you like, but you have the ability to choose your own thoughts that go in the middle there. One of my thoughts was, I can do this. Nobody knows how to take care of my family better than me, and I'm going to figure this out. That led to much more calm and much more effectiveness. I did figure it out. I did learn how to take care of my family in the way that I wanted to. You can too. There are so many things that can lead you to knowing yourself better. And when you know yourself better, you're more effective. You can get more money. You can do all kinds of things in your life that you want. And one of them is an exercise called What Went Well. It takes the focus in our lives and brings it over to what is going well. The exercise is just every day, write down or say out loud 3 things that went well in your day. For me, there's not a lot that's habitual. So how do you do that? Okay, that's the practice, that's the exercise. Now we want you actually to accomplish it. One way to do that is to tie it to a habit you already have. So for me, right, I brush my teeth. And it's like, oh, I'm brushing my teeth. Okay, what went well today? And I think about it and then I say it out loud. I also like doing it right when I'm getting into bed at night. And I think, oh, what went well today? If I didn't do it while I brush my teeth, I do it at night. But usually I end up doing both because I've tied it to something small and useful that I can just bring it in with. It can be big things, and that's fine, but we recommend really small things. So it's really easy to do. It's going to be so easy that you're like, it's ridiculous if I don't do it. Tiny, tiny, tiny. So I'm almost always, when I'm brushing my teeth, one of the things I'm grateful for is having a sink and running water. I love having a sink and running water. The smaller, the better. We're often grateful and aware of the big things in our lives that go well. We're not as often aware or grateful and saying out loud, celebrating the smaller things that go well. So that's your homework. What went well every day? Small.
We're going to help you over the course of this video series to think of your number, think of your project, and use some of the tools that I used to open Robin's Cafe and that my dear friend and co-founder Michelle Love used to help raise money for her son with autism, to handle your finances better and to practice the skill of earning money that has fundamentally changed my life, Michelle's life, and that we know can change yours.